Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to A Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 2. We are wrapping up the Scoba's division between these two runners here with Team Awesome, represented by iiYoshii and... I got to forget my names up here because I had them mixed up. Hitsuyan. And of course on Team Oops, the War is Night. I hope I pronounced that right. My German is not existent. We have Ralen, Tankir, and King 2.
Actually, I think we have a little bit of a. We're gonna get this fixed. According to what I'm seeing on the schedule, it's Team Awesome is iiYoshii and Ralen, and Oops is Hitsuyan and King. Double-checked versus. Okay, yeah. Do I have that wrong because of the slash means iiYoshii versus Ralen Tanker?
I think we got it confused with the schedule here. I had to double check the league site. No, the teams are in the right positions here for us, folks.
Okay, believe it or not, we actually do know something about this game. Apparently, we don't know as much about the teams.
By the way, I am a Wolfling 020, and of course, my co-com tonight is Tracy M.
Hello. We'll get this figured out.
Indeed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the Maddie Walker with the knowledge is because it's usually set up for 2 1v1s, and that totally makes sense. So.
Yeah. And we are getting started here with this co-op all dungeons here. You're going to see a lot of diversions as we get toward here. You see a map and 20 rupees respectively to start things off. Cooperative is... Sorry,
I like the extra cooperation here of our 2 bottom runners starting in Link's house and our 2 top runners starting in the sanctuary.
Pendant in desert, we have 2 crystals out on the light world otherwise. And to explain what cooperative is that our runners are playing, all 4 runners are playing the exact same seed, and they are going to be sharing information between their teammates in order to finish the seed as fast as possible. The winner is not important here. It is actually the overall average time between our 2 runners, and if that time is faster than the other team, they win.
Yeah, an interesting bit of route divergence I'm seeing on the bottom side. We have King is going checking Uncle, while Hitsuyan is going to go farm up some money, doing a houlihan.
Indeed. Aga check, 20 rupees.
Yeah, won't be going. Well, we will be doing Aga because this is all dungeons. Ideally, we do Aga last into Ganon, but won't be doing it for the item. So won't be doing it for hopefully not doing it for a while.
Yes. In addition to fighting Aghanim 1, we also need to do all 3 pendants and all 7 crystal dungeons as well. It'd be called all bosses if the ice armors were not may not be, but ice armors technically aren't required if the big key's not behind them.
And one of the times you want to see bombs early in the race, so we can blow things up in Kakariko Village. King gonna go south to north in Kakariko. Our top runners, Ralen and iiYoshii, can do north to south, and Hitsuyan doing something completely different and going checking eastern, or at the very least checking Sarastral. Race game with a flute, so we're gonna get boots sometime soon.
Nice. Red boomerang for Team Awesome's Hitsuyan.
Yeah, one of the major differences in all dungeons, of course, is we know we're gonna need that flute. It doesn't matter whether Meyer is a crystal or a pendant. Eventually, we are gonna have to go there. So the runners will have to get that.
Likewise, the ice rod is also a required item, as is at least 1 or 2 medallions. And there's a fire rod.
Okay, looks like Ralen's going to go ahead and check the Sarastral area. Checking out the green pendant, which, could have something. So knowing that green pendant is a little more important. Well, just as important as usual, but we're going to do it anyway, so might prioritize it a little sooner.
I don't think we're going to prioritize that soon, because that was Misery Mire as our green pendant.
If it was like Thieves Town or, Hera, but yeah, Misery Mire is going to take some more to get into, so it'll be a little bit longer before we get to that.
Well, with the map check, they already know that Hera's a crystal, so that's kind of a moot point if they have that information.
Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, if the Green Pendant were
Glove.
one of those easier dungeons, you might prioritize it sooner. Oh, a glove and a mushroom. So fetch quest early.
Yep. And even though it doesn't look like it, both of our teams are talking to each other, and they are relaying the information. So Hitsuyan does know the gloves in the well. So
And
we
he
opened
also, Yoshi and Hitsuyan combined have mitts, because Hitsuyan just found some gloves in Eastern.
Wow. Hurley mitts.
Yeah.
And the flute. This seed's opened up quite a lot. We still have no access to East Death Mountain, though, but I have a feeling that's coming sooner rather than later.
Well, we're still going to need a Moon Pearl before we can get Dark World access. And I always like to think of the mitts as kind of bad Dark World access, because you just have the one portal you can use, aside from the ones at Death Mountain and the Misery Mire area, because those don't lead to anything else.
Yeah, and we ideally want to see the Moon Pearl in this scenario anyway. Even though it will be bad if it's just, as you said, Titan Smith's access to Dark World. It's a lot more better than the alternative, which is Aghanim access is required for Dark World.
You know what? In an all dungeon seed, I don't think it matters as much. But yeah, Yoshi also seeing that flute sitting there in the library, knowing that he won't be able to get that until they get the boots.
Oh yes, but in an ideal scenario, you do want to save Aghanim 1 for last. And the main reason for that really is the refill on the Aghanim 1 fight. That lets you have it topped off, ready to fight Ganon at full strength. The Aghanim 2 fight actually does not have that refill at the end of the fight.
Yeah, it's the only boss that doesn't do that. I always wondered why, but yeah. Also, it's not even just the refill. It's just that location. You just put right there on the top of the pyramid. The hole will already be there. You can fall down right away, fight Ganon. Saves a ton of time if you can do it that way. But of course, we've seen some seeds where that hasn't not been a possibility, because all dungeons also means that you could have pendant progression in GT. And I believe they had a little bit of that yesterday in their previous match.
Book there for Yoshi. Pretty good item to find.
Might lead him over to desert. You check Agina on the way.
You know the funny thing is they could full clear desert with some
Maybe.
well-placed fire rod shots.
Maybe, if it's not boots locked.
That is true. But could definitely do the back if needed.
And Yoshi can do a fake flipper into this portal to get to the witch's hut faster in order to turn in the mushroom.
Meanwhile, Vanilla Big Key here in Eastern Palace. That is currently not in logic for Ralen. We do need the lamp for that, but if you know your dark rooms like these runners should most likely at this point.
Well, and that's one of the easiest dark rooms to go through, and it's an ice round. So that's a good thing to know. Death King probably not going to go there for a while. Now
mirror on the mushroom.
Oh, and a mirror on the mushroom. So that mushroom's really important. Can't really do a whole lot with it right now, but knowing that you're going to have it when you get into the Dark World is very useful. And knowing you're going to have it for dungeons is also very useful.
So collectively, we know where the Titan Smiths are, we know where the mirror is, we know where both rods are, and we know where... the bow is apparently, because I just saw that Death King has it.
I did not see him pick up the bow. And nobody else has it yet, so was he in... Okay, let's watch Hitsuyan. He's in Mini Moldorm. I have not seen this yet, but I think Death King may have just done that.
Oh yeah, and we missed half magic on the uncle. Moon Pearl.
Okay, Moon Pearl in Mini Moldorm. And the bow. So I gotta believe Death King, unless he got a different bow, which is, I suppose, possible, since there are 2 of them out there. I'm gonna guess the Death King also... Yeah, and our trackers... on top of things, Dark Diplomat and I bought our trackers today. You just can't give the trackers enough credit. They do all the hard work for us.
Yes, and actually, with that bow find, we can now fight the Armos Knights. So we can see if they're holding the last item.
Yeah, Eastern Palace full clearable, not in logic since that big key is behind the lamp. But that, like you said, that's not gonna stop any of these runners. Once you have a fire rod, you can pretty much do anything you need to do in terms of lighting things up. Death King finds his mitts, so both teams now know where both the gloves and mitts are.
Yeah, the only thing that really matters is the fact that Eastern's not in logic with the boss clear because of the lamp. But again, lamp logic is more so a suggestion for those who are not experienced, and we do have 4 very experienced runners here.
And to answer the question in chat, so the any room with a torch you can light is now in version 31 in logic with the fire rod, but because the big key was behind a room without a torch, the big key is not in logic until you have the lamp, and you need a big key to get to the back of Eastern, therefore the Armos Knights are not in logic. Most of these runners would be able to do that room without even the fire rod. With the fire rod, it's very easy. And of course, like I said, that the dark room that you see Death King going through right now is one of the easiest ones in the game. So most runners are going to do that one without too much trouble.
Yeah. The only way you can make it easier is if you had a sword to see yourself on your way through. But it's literally just a pretty much a circular room, and then just an open room on the side, which is pretty easy to navigate. And the enemies in there don't do that much damage either.
To be fair, with 3 hearts, not much damage is still quite a bit. But
fair enough. Fair enough.
But these runners are experienced. They shouldn't have any issues.
Indeed.
Yeah, and a little bit different because you see Ralen down there just picked up the fire rod in Blind's hideout and doesn't need to get anything else because he knows the rest is just stuff he doesn't need.
It's Dion, the first of our runners into Dark World, meanwhile, heading to Skull Woods. Which, by the way, this is taking place in the Skull Woods division of the Dark World Conference. I should probably mention that.
Also, he can't finish this until he gets a sword.
That is true.
Hoping that he gets one here. And routing in Skullwoods is drastically, well, I mean, not drastically, but it's definitely different with version 31 now that the pinball room chest is not guaranteed to be a small key. So Hitsuyan gets a nice layout there where he can grab a small key from that first chest and then continue this way instead of having to either fall down a hole where he could get soft locked or go steal a key from the center area.
Yeah, getting Cane and Burner there.
Well, those are the 2 items. I'm gonna just death warp out.
Yeah, first way. And to mention something about the Skullwoods division here, we do have Team Awesome here with their point score currently. They cannot be bested, and they're thus locked in this first seat of the division for the playoffs. Whereas Team Oops, they are not.
They're in a race. They need to win and get help.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of teams all stacked up right in the same. About 4 teams in the 2 through 5 range. Only 2 of those teams are going to get in. Team Awesome just going for pride. They want to get that undefeated record.
Yeah. So Team Oops will most likely be taking part in a playoff game. But winning here will give them a very nice advantage in that playoff game going forward, as we get a heart container and a crystal from Eastern Palace, Death King, the first one to take on a boss.
And Yoshi gonna continue to scout out Village of Outcasts.
Here's our map check. Pendant in Ice Palace 5-6 is Skullwoods and Thieves Town.
Yeah, he could actually do Thieves Town with that Cane of Burna. 3 hearts though? Yeah, it's 3 hearts, green mail. Not exactly the safest Thieves Town ever, but is doable.
I'm waiting to see the key here in Thieves Town. This is actually important. Not that one, the other one.
No, the small key. Yeah, the one of the other dangers like you were talking about in the small key in Thieves Town. Without a hammer, there is one location that will be left unchecked. We hope that the key is just in there, or a map or a compass, so we don't have to come back for it.
I'm actually thinking of a different scenario, in fact.
Okay, explain.
Our 5-6 crystals are in dungeons that may not require the hammer. And there is a very small chance that our hammer could, as a result, be on the pyramid fairy.
Yes, it could happen.
Which, through logical reasoning, would mean that Aghanim is required in order to get the super bomb to the pyramid for the hammer.
I can't get that excited about that scenario in an all dungeon C. They have to kill Hack anyway. That is a very
anyway, but it is a situation in which would force Aghanim to be done sooner rather than later.
Well, I mean, there are ways to break around it, but I think in the case of having to do it anyway, I think you just do it. You could do a current jump to get over to the east side, and there's some weird stuff you can do to keep that bomb, some bomb duping or whatever. But probably not worth it when you know you're going to eventually have to kill Aga anyway.
Yeah. You could, of course, save the Aghanim fight for later when you want the refill, but at that point, you might as well just do the fight and just get it over with and just grab the potion or something on the way.
Yeah, and to be fair, when we're clearing all the dungeons, there are going to be so many safeties available to these runners that they probably wouldn't need the refill as much as they might otherwise. Okay, looks like Yoshi's going to head over to the desert area while Hitsuyan did decide to leave Thieves Town. 3 hearts, blue cane, yeah, probably not the best blind fight you ever want to do.
No.
So he's just going to continue on in the Dark World.
I will say that it was a one dig game for a hard piece, though. That was so fast I completely missed it, actually. Hard game for Stumpy, though. And yeah, that is a smart enough play, not going back to fight blind. Having just the Cane and Burna to fight blind with just normal baseline magic, yeah. I don't think it's even actually doable unless you have a potion.
I think you can do it, but you have to turn the cane on and off a few times, which is not exactly safe. So, green mail, 3 hearts. You can't quite script it the way you would with a sword.
Yeah. Now, if you had half magic, I think you can just turn it on for the start, turn it off for the second phase, and then you can turn it on, leave it on for phases 2 and 3.
Yeah, half magic would make that much more doable, and we do know where to get half magic. I believe it was in the Uncle area, so Hitsuyan could choose to pick that up. I don't know if he will. We get our first look into desert on Yoshi's side. Meanwhile, Death King is gonna check the Hera area.
Boots in desert.
Boots in desert. It also means that desert is boots locked, but we have boots now, so it's all good. That's actually kind of trolly when you think about it. You know, you're wanting to not, often you want to put desert off until you have boots, but yeah, not gonna work here.
The irony of boots locked desert having boots right inside is that's amusing to me. I don't know why. It also means we only have 1 item here in Desert Pendant.
And it looks like Yoshi's going to go check the east side to see if he can find that item. A little surprised he doesn't just go back to the boss and do that first, but he is also scouting it out for his teammate. He might be that the item could be here, the item could be on Lan Molas.
Well, the item's on Lam.
Oh, but it's right there. There's a hook shot, so
that's East Stuff Mountain access as well.
It is. Yeah, so a very profitable desert.
Yeah, and opting to leave, which is actually smart because with the fact that we know we have to do Misery Mire, we'll save the desert fight over the Lan Molas until after we do take care of that.
Yeah, we've already got Mirror, we've already got Mitts. All we need is a flute, and you can just do it then.
And we have the flute available because of the boots.
Yep, it looks like he's going to head over, get that right away. Meanwhile, we have Ralen Tankir going ahead and rescuing the frog. We have Hitsuyan going to check the back of Escape. I don't believe we've seen either of these checks yet. Oh, wait, we saw the book. So he's just going to pick up that book. We have not seen the Smiths yet, though.
The one detriment for not finishing Desert is in case we have a pedestal seed. But at this point, we don't have anything available to us that could be on pedestal that we can need, except for the medallion for Turtle Rocket that's different from Misery Mire. We have everything else either on us or will be locked behind the dungeons because it was required to clear them.
And we are releasing that duck. And Hitsuyan going to go pick up his desert goodies. Meanwhile, Death King gonna scout into Thieves Town. Ralen, Tankir dragging that purple chest.
Yeah, things have just broken wide open now for Team Awesome. They are in a very commanding position right now.
Yep.
We don't know what. Sorry, go ahead.
So we don't know what medallions are going to be needed. We don't know where the hammer is. We don't know where the cane is. So there's still quite a, and the flippers. But that list is getting shorter. We just found a whole bunch of good stuff. So looks like Yoshi's going to scout out Death Mountain for their team.
And what I was saying was, because of the boots and flute positioning, Team Awesome is just going to have just the mobility advantage. And they're going to hold it for at least a few good minutes, because neither of the team-ups is heading towards Desert to check that out.
I do believe this is our first look at Hype Cave, though, so let's see what we got. Some arrows.
This is not actually the first look at Hype Cave.
We got it before.
I did check this.
And there was nothing there, because there's nothing there now.
Yeah, the most notable thing was a heart container. Hitsuyu, but that was it. There was not really anything worth mentioning.
Okay, Yoshi not going to climb Tower of Harry yet. Doesn't actually have a weapon to finish it out, so not really surprising. Needs a hammer or a sword.
Yeah, precursory dip there to make sure to find something that's available to him. Roach's turn in is for the magic powder.
Oh boy. That's, if you're going to get a fetch quest, at least get the fetch quest item that has other uses. So that powder is a nice safety to get the anti-fairies when you're low on health, so not too bad.
Yeah, and we're getting information on what Bombos is as well from Ralen. Ether was nothing, and Bombos is... It's Ether!
Well, we might need that.
We might need that, yeah. That's locked behind the Master Sword.
Okay, we've so far not a whole lot in Paradox Cave. Let's see what's at the top.
Also, that was a tablet medallion, but it's on the wrong tablet. Plenty of health here for Yoshi in a Paradox Cave.
Yeah, but not a whole lot else. Yeah, not much else. He can continue on and check some of the Dark World stuff here, too. We'll have to use the portal on the bottom of the mountain, though.
Speaking of continuing on, Death King is moving deeper into Thieves Town here. This is going to be our first look at what's in the back 4 chest.
Only 4 hearts for this. This is... Ugh. And these crickets will do 2 damage.
Yeah, there's the compass. So that scenario I was talking about with the small key potentially being important, and it potentially meaning that this dungeon could be not hammer locked. If the small key is in the big chest, this dungeon is in fact hammer locked, and it's looking like it's going to be a 50-50 shot going forward. It's either in the main chest or it's in the big key, or it's in the big chest.
Well, you hope if you're the runners that it's in the big chest, because you don't want to have to come back in here to get the item.
Indeed. And whatever's left over is going to be on Blind. Blind cannot have the small key. Kingstoon check coming up for Hitsuyan. Ralen now checking Desert.
Nothing in Kingstoon. We're going to see some more information on Death Mountain, though. Floating Island, just some rupees. Don't care about that.
There's Boots for Ralen.
And we're going to get a look at Hookshot Cave.
And it looks like we did see the Turtle Rock Medallion is in fact Ether, so we do need it. And there's a sword for Yoshi.
Wow, that's pretty.
Cave.
That is a pretty deep sword.
So
am I right that we went up and did all this stuff on East Death Mountain and East Dark Death Mountain, and we found a sword?
Indeed. All right. Third item coming up here from the back from Ralen.
Okay, I missed Yoshi getting that hammer.
It's 20 rupees. It is a hammer lock small key here in Thieves Town, which means the 5-6 crystals cannot have the hammer. Agony can be saved until the very
Yoshi.
end.
Hammer was the Super Bunny Cane. Thank you, chat. So Yoshi has the hammer. He can now full clear Tower of Hera.
Nice.
Looks like he's going to set up for the Hera Pot clip. I like this play a lot better with the big key, ironically, because then you don't have to worry about skipping these items up here.
And Death King is taking on Blind here. Does have the half magic. Doesn't quite get the scripted fight because of the cane, but with half magic can just literally hug Blind to death. Turning it off between each phase. Has more than enough magic now.
But just 10 arrows.
But it's another crystal on the board for team ups. Ralen gonna opt to go fight Lambolas now instead of later. Ugh. Yoshi taking a fall.
Yep. Yeah, a little surprised that you would do. There's no more information you can get by doing this right now if you're Ralen. So a little surprised at this because you can do it much later. But you know, you're gonna have to do it at some point, so might as well just do it now. I guess. And I do believe there is an item in the basement here in Tower of Hera because that was a compass.
I believe so as well. We'll see if Yoshi decides to go back in with the fire rod in hand.
Nope.
He's gonna leave it behind.
I might have missed him picking up something, but looks like he's gonna check the Meyer area.
Alright, so that means we'll know what both medallions are. We already know Turtle Rock acquires the Ethan medallion, and we know where that is. That also means Pet is dead, unfortunately. Unless for some odd reason there's no other swords available, and the second sword is on the pedestal.
Yeah, Pet is just. Oh, there's a lamp. Not a needed item, but you know what? If it's right there, you might as well pick it up.
Yeah, lamp picked up by Hitsuyan prior. Yoshi now picking that up. Very helpful.
Like, not gonna do the rest of the Meyer area right now. Hitsuyan must scout out that already, I suppose. Did anyone see the medallion there for Meyer?
I don't think so. Someone might have thought it was a Bombo's Misery Mire, but we'll need a better look at it later.
Okay, Yoshi gonna head over to Pod. Has everything he needs to clear this.
Yeah, I think at this point it's clear what dungeons you can now for Team Awesome. Who we haven't mentioned yet, but is a returning team from Season 1. And in fact, I believe Team Awesome was the winning team in Season 1 of our league.
Well, they're definitely a following those expectations, doing very well this year.
Indeed. And of course, with the first seed in the division locked up, they will actually get a bye when it comes to the division and playoffs coming up here after the regular season ends with their race. Well, at least for these two teams, their regular season will end. We still have a few more matches this week across the league.
And for what it's worth, we do have a bow-locked pod. Doesn't really matter since we do have the bow. Other than, I tend to like, if I have the bow, to see it being bow-locked. I feel like there's a more likely chance I'm going to find something there. We'll see if that holds true today.
So yes, folks, with how the division works is that each runner was given the choice of being represented by one of the three pendants. And in fact, we do have both of the pendants of courage and the pendant of wisdom representation here on the respective teams. Team Awesome's pendant of courage is represented by Yoshi. Hitsu is represented by wisdom. And of course, on Team O's, we have Ralen represented by courage, and Dev King is represented by wisdom as well. Their third member of the team is represented by the pendant of power, and they'll play Game 3 when they come to the division playoffs. But right now, Team Awesome's got a bye, so they don't even need to take part in the first round of the playoffs.
And we do see it is Bombos over in for Misery Mire, so we need 2 medallions.
That's right. So, yeah, at this point, Pet is dead completely. Like I said, unless there's a sword there. Because anything else we need either locks a dungeon or is already known to us.
Okay, Yoshi picking up all the small keys, gonna now head to the back of pod to where things are a little more interesting. Hitsuyan gonna go ahead and finish up Skull Woods.
And we're actually seeing Diviscience here in Twitch chat here, who is actually the third member of Team Loop. So cheering his teammates on here.
Looks like Ralen's gonna go ahead and finish up Thieves Town. Gonna skip a bunch of these chests that he knows there's nothing in. So gonna follow Yoshi a little bit since he's in the spot that no one else has done.
Smokey here in the dark basement of pod, along with the big key. Dev King taking down the Lamolas. That's one less dungeon they have to do.
And just a container heart. We got a few more items over in the Dark Maze area.
I'm gonna be honest here, I don't like how the seed is progressing. Not because of the runners, no, they've been doing excellent. I'm more so looking at the survivability in the seed, and our runners being at most at 8 hearts with 3 mail. A contact damage from Ganon will still kill them in 1 shot.
Well, then don't get hit by Ganon. But to be fair, I mean, these are some really good runners here. They're, you know, one of the things that happens when you do a co-op is because you're going to skip all the garbage checks that your teammates already found. Like Yoshi just found a bottle, which is a nice safety. Unless there's something on Sick Kid, I don't think Hitsuyan's going to pick up that bottle. Unless we know there's something on Sick Kid, unless he doesn't find a bottle elsewhere. So a lot of those safeties will get skipped because, you know, extra heart containers. We have several of the runners have each team has 1 runner with half magic. Their teammate has not gone and picked up that half magic. It's another nice safety, but of course not needed to beat the game. So a lot of that stuff gets skipped in a co-op situation.
Yeah, the counterpoint though is again the first bottle does also let them up a sick kid, but they could opt to take that fairy out of the bottle and refill it with blue potion later, which could help them win a magically intense scenario for the Ganon fight. Allows them to be a little bit more liberal with their magic use if they wanted to choose to use invincibility.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a safety, and the point is when you're in a co-op situation, a lot of times you're going to skip those safeties a lot more so than when you're by yourself. Because you're by yourself, you're just opening chests, and you're getting whatever you get.
Well, the other counterpoint I'd make is because we're playing with a co-op scene, the average time may matter at the end. It would be wise to at least have some safety so that you can make sure you don't waste a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that's gonna be what we'll see what the runners choose to do. So I mean, it's just they have to decide, you know, how far out of their way do they want to go to get safeties.
Yeah, and that's exactly the point here. It's nice to have, but at the same time, it could save them a couple minutes if they actually don't go for it, or it could save them a ton of time because they don't die.
Yep. Okay, we got Death King's checking out Death Mountain for the first time, and Yoshi on his Helmasaur King fight.
First time we're seeing this as well. 17 hammer swings against this mask. Getting tagged by the fireballs there. They split it out crossband every single time. That tail attack is also very wide, and he can start moving once the mask breaks. Oh! Takes the death, but does have the fairy he just found.
Yeah, speaking of safeties.
Yeah, that would have been about a 2-minute time loss without that fairy, instead of the 10 seconds it took for the fairy animation, revival animation. And it was only one arrow away.
Ouch.
Still, I think Yoshi had a little bit of a heart attack there when he died, but thankfully had fairy. And can use the bottle later to stock up on something like blue potion or green potion so that he can just melt Cold Stare literally later. Or just go full on with invincibility strats against Vitreous. There's a few options with that bottle that they can take that allows them to do a faster kill. But on select bosses, of course. Magic Backchat, this is the first time we're seeing this as well. 20 rupees from the Magic Bat. Sick Kid, 50 rupees.
Okay, so yeah, no reason to go out of the way to get that bottle unless you want it for the safety. Might run into a bottle elsewhere anyway.
That is also true. There are 4 of them after all. Someone asking in chat what's in the T-Town Big Chest. T-Town Big Chest, I believe...
Small key.
Yeah, small key.
Yeah, because we checked everything else and... that's the only thing left. We have not seen any fake flipper checks. To answer that question. Right now, there's just too many other things that they're able to look at. We might see that relatively soon, but at this point, probably not. The flippers will have to show up because we do need to do all the dungeons. So that includes Swamp Palace, the one where we absolutely hard required to have the flippers.
Yeah. We do have the new tricks with the Ancilla Splash Deletion as well as the Diver Down, but neither one of those tricks will get us through Swamp Palace any faster.
Yeah,
you can enter the first room.
Yeah, you can get into the first room, you can't get out of the water in the first room. At least no one's figured out how to do that yet.
Yeah. And even if they did, they would have to be approved by our racing council first before we would allow that use in an official race. Team Awesome going to be checking the Super Bomb.
Well, we did have that very early 5-6 crystal, so Hitsuyan's going to go check that out.
And we could have Catfish or even Zora with the flippers now that I think about it. Wouldn't be a bad thing to check. Also, we haven't checked what's on the Pyramid of Power either. There is one item up there.
We're going to see that here on Hitsuyan's side. did not see what was on Graveyard Ledge. I do believe that's the first time we've checked that. Ralen and Tankir checking that area.
Yeah, looks like Brewery Cape Salford Grove was only 10 arrows. On the pyramid is a full heart container. Not bad. Could pick it up if needed. Choosing not to for the time being. Master Sword! And a heart
Nice.
piece. So that just straight up kills bad.
Well, that
Master Sword, though.
You know, let's say that Master Sword's important. Oh wait, it was the ether on the Bombos tablet. So now we can get that. We can go into Turtle Rock.
Not just yet. We still don't have the Cadence of Maria.
No,
and we do need that to get past the first room of Turtle Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. But we don't need to look for that. That Master Sword will get us the ether, and we do need that ether. No reason to get it right now, because like you said, you can't actually progress into Turtle Rock. You can enter the door and kind of look wistfully at the empty area.
And as a matter of fact, right now, that's, as of this point, they know where ether is. Team also did not know where ether was at the time until Yoshi just
now
did
they
that
do.
check. Yeah.
Funny that the one without the Master Sword is the one that checked it and found out. Oh yeah, I guess we got to get that. We do get a catfish check over here.
Now on the catfish we have just a single green rupee.
Not even gonna bother with that.
Lots of information to see, but we are nowhere near finishing. I'm starting to think we may have forgot an item in Hera. Either that or...
Well, it looks like Hitsuyan's gonna check Zora for us, so we'll get to see what's over there.
Yeah. I don't know, we're missing something, I feel.
We'll see if Death King goes back down to the basement, because I do think we only got one item out of Hera.
That's what we're missing. Yoshi's going to check it right now. We have not seen in the back of Hyrule.
We have not seen any of the... Well, we saw the back of Escape. We have not seen the rest of it.
Well, I meant the basement, yeah.
But that's, could be 4 items. I don't think they have the key. Don't know if they found the map, so it might only be like 2 items, but...
Well, you definitely don't have the key, because I think Team Awesome has already checked it.
No, he would have that. Oh, blue mail's nice.
Blue mail right away, good. But no, I think Yoshi checked the back 3 chests, and if there was Smokey there, he would have had it by now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we found the map immediately in Sanctuary, so that's out of the equation.
So there's 3 items in this area. 2 more items. Well, ideally the map's in Dark Cross. You don't have to go there.
Oh.
So we'll see if it...
So
ideally the key is in Dark Cross, and I think by now it has to be there, because we've gotten far enough into the dungeon that it can't be in these last 2 chests.
It could still be.
Well, that's an important item.
Alright.
That gives us... Now we have Turtle Rock access.
Yep. That's probably going to be priority 1 for Team Awesome here. Because there's something behind Turtle Rock, I think.
And 1 more item here in the escape, and it is a bug net.
Alright, so Smokey's in the Dark Cross. Death King attempting to set up a coffee break in the tire room. Fortunately, does not quite get it. Thankfully can poke to the left and get all the tiles except for the top right tile. That will spawn. There it is right there. Has to point upwards to get that.
Okay,
Yeah, Yoshi
gonna go finish it blind. Yep, they're getting close. So let's see. They know where ether is. They need bombos.
Yeah, they know where
they need
ether
flippers. Bombos and flippers is what Team Awesome is looking for right now.
Well, here's the thing. Yoshi has not been in Thieves Town nor has Yoshi been in Skull Woods, so needs to clear both those dungeons to get the sword to get the Ether Medallion. Whereas Hitsuyan will be able to scout ahead for his teammates and see where the small keys and big key are in Turtle Rock.
And I think we're gonna get, looks like a spike cave. Ooh, 5 hearts for a spike cave. Okay, but half magic, he should be fine.
Indeed. Let's see what we got here. Spike Cave.
A little surprised he didn't do a few hook shots to save just a little bit of extra energy there.
Hitsuyan, meanwhile, is opting to pick up the half magic. It's always a good item to have.
Yeah, not that far out of the way compared to where he has to go in the basement anyway. He can pick up that half magic. He can pick up the blue mail on the way.
Already has.
Oh, he's already done that. He's right in that same area, though. He mirrored out. Yeah, he was the one that got that stuff. No, what? Nope. He... Okay.
He does have blue mail.
He doesn't. It's just... Okay, it's just updated.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell on the dark link that he's using.
Yeah, you can't.
It's the eye color that changes with the tunic. But you can see in his menu, he does have the blue armor.
And apparently we missed the flippers in the Hera basement, which Yoshi and Hitsuyan have not checked yet. It's one of the items they need.
That's actually huge.
That's
an item Yoshi abandoned when he could have picked it up.
So that's probably going to be a last location for these guys. Although, Hitsuyan, having not done Hera, would probably do it when he gets up there. And he's going to be in the area very soon. Still needs to go pick up his ice rod, though.
Yes, but does know where that is, thankfully. Yeah. That is in Eastern.
Yeah, my guess, he'll probably do Eastern next, and then head over to TR. And maybe do Hera at the same time.
Yeah, this is going to be a pod Eastern, and then Hera TR play, I think.
Yeah, there wasn't much in pod. We'll see if he just goes to the back. I think the only thing significant in pod was that bottle.
Actually, wait a minute. Bomb was for no mode for us. I just realized.
Yeah, that's right.
Ralen, or no, sorry, Dev King is checking Swamp Palace for the Bombos Medallion. They are also looking for another sword to get that Ether Medallion, which we know is on Super Bomb. Immediate big key. Blind down for Yoshi. Well fought. Ralen taking an unfortunate death to the Moth. That is a little bit of time lost.
Yeah, Fighter Sword Mothula, not the easiest fight ever.
No, it is not. It is made easier with half magic, but that's also something Ralen does not have.
Yeah. Yeah, that Fire Rod's very effective on Mothula.
And without a potion, has to micromanage his magic. Doesn't get the torches lit in time.
Oh, that hurts.
Run, man, run. Just ignore the thing and run. The torches are desynced. He's not going to be able to light them up now.
He's got to wait for them to be put out. Does he have enough? If he does, it's just barely. He's going to have to... Oh, that missing on that one lamp, not going to help.
He will. It takes 2 casts before the lamp makes the pip on the magic meter drop. Barely enough.
Calculated.
But now has no magic for the moth fight.
We'll have to do this solely with that fighter sword.
It's not an easy fight with just the fighter sword either. Death King, meanwhile, making progress here. About to see Diver down. Bomb version. I don't think we've noticed anything important from Swamp just yet. I've been too focused on Ralen, to be honest.
Okay, Death King does get the Diver down with the bomb setup. Just picking up rupees and a piece of heart.
Hammer strats for Yoshi. Ralen gets a successful fighter sword fight with the hammer as well.
Oh, another mail upgrade in Swamp.
It's on the way. So, most likely, Yoshi and Hitsuyan will be in red mail, which will make them be extremely comfortable with their low health total. That's a nice thing to find.
Yeah, that's one of those chests in Swamp Palace that if you're
Oh,
still
hang on.
single arrow at Ped. Well, we already knew Ped was dead anyway.
Yeah, it had to be. But actually, Ralen did not know that because he doesn't have the second sword.
No, he doesn't know that, but we knew that. So the question is, how long is it going to take for Yoshi or Hitsu to get up to check that basement of the Tower of Hera?
That is the question to ask. Hopefully soon. Team Awesome has, in fact, cleared both of the bosses at this point. Looks like they'll be on the mountain at roughly the same time.
And Death King in his Argus fight with another fighter sword fight that's just not a great fight. You need to either use sword spins or menu to the hammer in order to damage the little Argai that come out. Unfortunately, has Fire Rod to finish off the last part of this fight.
Oh, did Hitsu just go straight for Eastern and not to Pod? Since like it's the case. So we'll have to wake up Kiki the monkey. Argus down for Death King. I did not see what he dropped. And granted, it's 4 feet. It's very hard to keep track.
That's why we have our wonderful trackers, Dark Diplomat and iBot. Shoutouts to them for doing the hard work behind the scenes.
Indeed. And both teams at this point know about Ether. I don't think Team Oak knows how important Ether is, but at this point they're about to find their sword, which will make it so they can acquire it. And it seems, no matter which roads they all take, it seems to all be pointing to checking Turtle Rock. Because I don't... But then again, I don't think Death King did a full clear of Left Side Swamp, did he?
No, I don't think he did.
And that was Sankart actually on the Pyramid of Power, so that is a full refill.
Nice. Okay, Yoshi gonna get his Ether medallion.
Oh, and the Sword Upgrade made Ralen not check Escape. Oh no. That could be a problem later down the line, to say the least.
Well, for Oops, we have when are they going to get to the escape? For Team Awesome, we have when are they going to get to the Hera basement? I have a feeling that Team Awesome will.
Oh no! Hitsuyan getting one of the newer tricks approved here. The extended stair climb to get past those blocks, but immediately gets bumped off
Oh, ouch.
by the hardhead beetle up there, and thus loses the extended climb. There it is. It is likewise a newly approved trick by our Racing Council. I don't believe it is allowed in NMG. It's only allowed here on the randomizer.
Alright. Looks like Yoshi's going to head up the mountain. Probably. Let's see. Did he pick up his Ether? Yes, he did. So he's probably going to head into Turtle Rock. Start scouting that.
First look at Ice Palace here from Death King. Taking full advantage of the flippers. But because we know what the Cane of Samari is, we're going to be not seeing Iceberg just yet.
We'll have to do the good old-fashioned Ice Palace bomb jump.
Alright, and now we are seeing our first look into Turtle Rock as Yoshi opens up the turtle.
And another sword upgrade there in the Ice Palace.
That's good. That's tempered for anyone who wishes to check it. Although, given how Yoshi and Hitsuyan are playing, that might be a Go mode Ice Palace for them. And they may miss that sword.
Well, if they're comfortable doing Master Sword Silverless, then it's not going to be a big deal. And, there could be another sword on the way somewhere else. We have not seen the second bow yet, so Master Sword Silverless on the table.
Yeah, Master Sword Silverless is on the table, but you have to question the fact, because average times matter. Is that extra few minutes on your average worth the effort?
Well, that's just it. I mean, that particular chest where that sword is a relatively quick one. You do have to kill all the enemies, so it's going to lose you some time. Of course, it could be nothing, so you have to weigh those factors against how good you are at the tougher strats, really.
Yeah, 2 small keys here in this room here for Yoshi. I don't remember what it's called. Roller room?
It has rollers. There are... Okay, Hitsuyan going to finish up Pod here.
It's not a question if they skip that chest for temper. It's just they skip that chest because they're in GOAT mode and don't want to check for tempered or silvers. I mean, it's a fast enough check, and you have to enter that room anyway, so I can see them doing it, but I can also see them just turning around and just finishing Ice Palace as fast as possible.
Yep, I can
It really
see
depends on if the Bombos is in Ice Palace, I think. Which we have not yet seen from Death King.
Yeah, right now our new checks are in Yoshi's side at Turtle Rock and Death King's side at Ice Palace.
And the reason for that is if they're still looking for an item going into Ice Palace, they'll stumble up on that sword.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100% guaranteed. If they're in Go mode, they might opt to not open any chest in Ice, and that's
right.
where the difference is. So, big key in its vanilla location. I believe that does mean that Laser Bridge is required to see, but we do have the Cane of Burna available to our runners. I think all 4 runners have it at this point. I forget where it was.
No, we won't know if Laser Bridge is required. There's 2 more places where they can get a second key. But whereas not in Go mode, so it's pretty irrelevant. They're going to check Laser Bridge unless we find Bombos in Mimic Cave or something like that.
Yeah. Bruno was in school was this chat is reminding me. I just forget.
Now, has Death King found all the items? Because he just skipped those last 2 checks.
I think so. I haven't been paying attention, to be perfectly honest, to him. I've been looking at Turtle Rock from Yoshi.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that he's found all the items because they're not. They need more items than Team Awesome does. There's no reason to skip those if you don't. If you're not in Go
Yeah,
mode
they
yet.
have no. They have no dungeon items. I believe they found them all. Going with the rather unique setup here.
Yeah. Death King trying very hard to make sure he doesn't get hurt because if you spam that sword at the same time as you fire the fire rod shot, it actually uses less magic. Trying to save that magic for the last part of the Cold Stare fight.
Yeah. Meanwhile, silvers have been found. They're in the big chest of Turtle Rock. That's on the way. They're not missing that. Why would you not open the big chest in Turtle Rock when you're looking for keys? Everyone's gonna find the silvers. Full stare down, just a compass. So it's not an ice. Could still be in Swamp. I don't think Def King fully cleared Swamp. But
That
it could
is
also
true.
just be here on Laser Brit. And there's still a few chefs I think we haven't seen in the overworld. I don't think we've seen the Hammer Pigs. Although I could be wrong about that.
I want to say we have seen that, but I'm not sure.
And yeah, Yoshi did in fact skip the Cane of Burna. With the heart, putting him in Yoshi up to 10.
Laser bridge with nothing.
Nope, just a small key on the front side. So I think it checks we haven't seen the overworld, we haven't seen Hobo. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you're correct there.
And I don't think we've seen Bump or Ledge yet. I don't think anyone's walked over to the site to check that. But I could be wrong about that as well. Anyway, try next fight going on for Yoshi. This could be the last item. Just saying, we have seen Hobo and we have seen Bumper Ledge. Again, it's hard enough keeping track of it's hard enough keeping track of 2 feet here. 4 feet is a mess on the commentary front. It's difficult, but definitely doable.
Okay, Yoshi finishing up Trinex.
And on Trinex.
Piece of heart.
The piece of heart. Oh no, I just realized. Look what we have left. And I just realized something else. We have GT access once they find the flippers on Team Awesome.
Yep. That
And
could,
Meyer
Bombos,
is a pendant,
yeah.
so
Bombos could
Bombos
be in
is most
GT.
likely in GT. I completely
Uh,
forgot about that.
Well, in terms of the number of chests, yeah, there's a really good chance it'd be in GT. And it looks like Yoshi's gonna go do Hera now, which or no, he has Hera done. Looks like he's gonna go check that basement.
I think this is the last location for flippers. Yeah, the season's going by so fast. I have not been able to keep up.
So the nice thing about co-op here is my guess is Yoshi and Hitsuyan will finish their crystal dungeons, and then one of them can scout out ice, the other one can go ahead and do GT, and see which one of them finds that Bombos medallion.
I need to be more caffeinated here because clearly I am not on my A game today.
And there's those flippers for Yoshi.
And that is relayed to Hitsuyan, which is good timing because that means Hitsuyan can just dash on over there and pick them up real quick. And could opt to do the dungeon, or could opt to save it until after GT. But
I think they're gonna split it up. One of them will probably prioritize crystals. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if Yoshi goes ahead and does ice first, since he has to still do. No, sorry. Yoshi having more crystals probably goes and finishes Swamp and then goes to GT. Hitsuyan having not done Tower of Hera yet, maybe starts looking into those pendant dungeons and tries to find what they're looking for there. So it'll be interesting to see how they split this up.
yeah. And like I said, Hitsuyan could also opt just to not do Hera until they are ready to check the other dungeons.
Yeah, we'll
Just get
see if
the
he decides to. Yeah, we'll see if he decides to full clear it now, or if he just picks up the flippers.
Actually, wait, where was the small key? I forgot.
He has to go up to get the small key.
Was it on Was it on Moldorf? I forget.
I don't think so.
Chad's saying it's big chest. And it could, the bonus midnight could also be here in Swamp. I don't think we full cleared Swamp from our view of Death King.
No, we did not see the left side. But if I'm Team Awesome, then I probably just finish up Swamp without checking the left side. If I'm Yoshi, and let Hitsuyan check the left side when he gets there. Maybe they'll do it the other way around. We'll see.
If I'm in this position, when I'm 1 item away from 100% without a doubt go mode, I would opt to check left side Swamp. Because it's one item and it could be there, and if you don't check it now,
it's a slow, but it's a slow item versus 27 items in GT, and you've got a teammate. Yeah, I think you're right if you're just talking 1v1, because if you clear all of GT and it's not there, then going back to left side Swamp is would be a pretty nasty thing to have to do. But since they do have teammates, I can't see both of them necessarily checking it. Like one of them may just decide, let's just get to GT and check there.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna be checking it first, I believe it will be Yoshi, because he's already here. He might as well full clear and relay the information to his partner, so that they can go mode their ice palace. It's a little bit of give and take when you have co-op, because one person is gonna lose time doing the full clear, whereas the other person is gonna gain time by not doing the full clear.
And Ralen finally going into escape, finding his red cane.
Nice diver down there from Yoshi. It's you clearing in Moldorm.
And Yoshi does find that red mail. Hitsuyan now going to go ahead and get his flippers. We'll see where he decides to go next.
There's the tempered sword for Death King.
This will be a nicer Argus fight for Yoshi with that Master Sword. Still needs 2 slashes or a sword spin. Doing a nice job of grabbing 2 puffs at the same time. Yeah. And getting a nice spin cycle on him.
Well, I think Yoshi will be heading into GT based on the fact he didn't go left side Swamp. Going with the odds on the play.
Well, he would have done... We'll see if he goes back in. I think he's going to go GT, but typically if you need to kill the boss anyway, you're going to want to just hope that it's on the path, and then go back to the left side if it's not.
Well, we'll see. If he goes in, we'll know. If he goes... The mirrors and flutes will know as well. It's going to really come down to where they go.
Okay, he's already got that mirror out, so he's going to leave right now.
Yeah.
Hitsuyan's going to go ahead, and looks like he's also going to do...
Well, with Yoshi fluting, I want to see if he goes to 1 here.
Yeah, he's going to go GT.
Alright, well, folks, it's time for that game we love to play. So, Tracy, rather, would you be so kind to get started while I explain it?
Sure.
So, folks, we have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower, only one of which can be the big key we need to climb up. Give us a number in chat, tell us where you think the Ganon's Tower big key will be. And, you know, as a bonus, so that you don't actually get caught by the bot, tell us which chest you may think that the spawn medallion may be in GT as well, if you think it's up there, in fact. So, number for the chest for the big key, actual chest for where you think the Balmus medallion is.
Or it still could be elsewhere, so.
And it could still be elsewhere, keep that in mind. But odds are it is in GT. So Tracy, where do you think we are going to find the big key in Gans Tower?
Well, you already found the big key for Turtle Rock. No,
I mean, I was looking at Turtle Rock. Yeah.
I know. I always say 5, so I'm gonna stick with my 5.
You know what? I'm gonna say 18. It's a very large number, but that also would imply that they're going to be looking for the Bombos medallion and maybe find that first. And that's
Yeah, Yoshi's gonna keep going until he either full clears the basement or until he finds both the big key and the bombos, or until Hitsu finds the bombos elsewhere if he does.
Also, depending which way you go, that is also, I think, puts you right in the Armos room. So we're starting with Hope Room, 3 bombs, and a shield. No small key, has to go left. On the torch, another small key. Actually, our first, in fact. Power container, small key. Another small key. That's 3.
So he is going to continue.
Alright, so chest number 8 coming up here in the map chest room. Double fire bar. And it is, in fact, the map. What are the odds of that? Alright, chest number 9 coming up here for Yoshi.
There's your bombos.
There's Bombos. That is go mode for Yoshi and Hitsuyan. Team Awesome. They know where that is. One hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. 10, 11, 12, 13.
Still looking for that big key, though.
Second bottle.
And a nice refill. So Yoshi not gonna go back. Sorry, Hitsuyan not gonna go back to the left side. He'll go straight up to GT, pick up his bombos, and we have to skip a lot of these chests that Yoshi was checking.
Chest number 14 coming up here. Bob's chest, as we call it. Unfortunately, I don't think we're seeing Bob today. I think we grabbed that small key off the torch. And for anyone who's wondering, Bob is just the name of an antiquary that's a little glitchy that we'd like to call nicknamed here in this room. He's the one trapped next. He would be the one trapped next to this chest. 14 is 10 bombs. Perfect place for those, actually. And here we go, the Ice Armos fight, which is not a required fight unless the big key's behind it, and might as well be. For all we know. 15, 16, 17 coming up here. Big key!
It's like 16.
16 was the winner. I was close. I thought it was behind Ice Armos.
I don't know if I ever typed stop on this thing. There we go. And then
And Scooty Puff was the
Oh,
first person to guess 16.
I'm gonna guess our trackers took care of the rest of the big key guessing game. Thank you to our trackers again, iBot and Dark Diplomat, since we did.
Yeah.
They're better at that than I am.
Yeah, I don't know the commands by heart either.
I did, but I haven't done commentary in a few weeks, so.
That's fair.
And then we had a few weeks where we didn't even do the big key guessing game too, so. Okay, Yoshi making his way up GT. Now Yoshi and Hitsu will have the advantage of they still do have to do Ice Palace, and everybody still has to do Mire. And neither one of them has done Desert, but that's going to be a whole lot of go moding, depending on where that Mire big key is. Those could be very, very, very quick dungeons. Ice Palace in particular, and very nice palace for doing go mode. Desert Palace, we just need to go to the back, and Mire, if that big key is a nice location, won't take long either. Whereas Ralen and Death King still need to find some items.
And they could not pick up the free chest in Ice Palace all on the way. Get their hands on the Tempered Sword. They might skip that. Going moding Ice Palace, which, to be fair, they have the Silver Arrows, so they wouldn't lose too much time to doing Master Silverless. But right now, they are in a commanding lead. They are very likely to go undefeated here in the season.
Yeah, this is looking really good for them. And to be clear, Master Sword with silvers will be, which isn't too bad for experienced runners like these guys.
Yeah. Obviously, Tempered would be that much faster. And we know it's on the way, but they're most likely not going to pick up that chest in Ice Palace at this point.
Yeah, that chest probably takes an extra 10-15 seconds to pick up, since you do have to kill all the enemies in there. We'll see if either one opts to do it. And we'll get an idea whether they might check those chests. We'll see if Yoshi checks any of these chests up here.
There's a sword right there. All right.
He checks one chest up top, and he picks up a tempered sword.
That's all four
now,
swords.
I'm gonna say he's not checking that spot in ice, because for these runners, the difference between gold and tempered just isn't enough to keep looking.
It's not warranted at all. They have everything they need. They even have a second bottle to fill with blue potion if they even so much as think they need it. But it's very unlikely that they will. And Silver Arrows for Vitreous. Yeah, this is all but over at this point. Hitsuyan taking a death, but that's not that much of a problem. Probably just using it for the refill here, and we'll climb back up at moderately high health.
Now, to be fair, Death King is actually pretty close to finishing in his own right, since he does have just TR and Misery Mire to do, and he will run into that Bombos. Ralen, though, quite a bit farther behind. Still has to do Tower of Terror, still has to do Swamp Palace, and Ice Palace, and as well as finishing up Turtle Rock right now and doing Misery Mire.
And of course, definitely does have the Canis Mari at this point. Probably also has the lamp, although I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll have to see a menu from him.
Well, on Death King's side, we'll know when he gets into the dark room here.
Alright, Agatu fight going cleanly here. And that is Agatu down. And normally it would be time to fight the Fake, but however, folks, reminder, this is all dungeons. We still need to clear all of our pendant dungeons, and the wizard at the top of Aga Tower still needs to fall as well. And the fourth sword, as a reminder as well, was in the very first chest of Ice Palace in Tank Gator room.
Yoshii, remembering not to go into the hole and get called a dingus by Ganon, is going to go ahead and just full clear Agate Tower right now. Not sure it makes a difference whether you do it now or after you do the other dungeons.
No, you're already up here. You might as well take care of it.
But either way, it's either on the way to the end or on the way to or you're already there. Like I think it's just personal preference at this point.
Actually, no. This is very brilliant that what Yoshi's doing, because he can save Ice Palace for last, and because of the interaction between the mirror and the Agate of Death, a save warp at that point will put him on top of the pyramid, ready to fight Ganon.
That's a good point. So it doesn't. Yeah, but in the end, as long as he does Ice Palace or Misery Mire last, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He still has to do Desert, so probably do Desert before Mire if you're gonna do that after Ice, or do Ice last.
And you know what the other brilliant thing about this play is? The Saint Cart's right there in the pyramid, so if they choose to pick it up, which I don't think either runner has on Team Awesome, they'll get a full heal from it.
Well, they won't know it's a Saint card if no one's picked it up yet.
That is also true. But if they somehow just pick it up and say, okay, I want an extra heart for the Ganon fight, and then it just suddenly heals, and I'm like, oh, well, this is going to help a lot. Well, I doubt they'll pick it up, but it'll be very hubris if they do and realize it.
And also, Yoshi showing how much nicer it is to go through Agate Tower when you have a tempered sword rather than a master sword, or even worse, just the fighter sword.
Yeah, we'll see if they actually touch the heart. It's very unlikely that they do.
No, they're not grabbing that heart. They don't know where the other team is. They're not going to take that shit.
No.
Yeah, so Death King does not have a lamp.
Someone's saying it was actually at the end of Hype Cave. That was Saint Cart. But and they both had picked it up at that point, so yeah. It really doesn't matter. And Death King did not actually pick up the lamp.
No.
Alright, so the Agate 1 fight, if you haven't seen it before. First shot, always reflectable. Second shot can be either one of those, non-reflectables, or another reflectable. 6 reflectables, and that is GG if they hit. And after 4 attacks, he'll do this 5th attack of lightning, in which his cycle will repeat. But they're starting with an unreflectable, or rather, a guaranteed reflectable shot.
Right, Yoshi finishing up Agate 1. It was a little weird to do that after Agate 2.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. A minute. Hey, there we go. Yoshi now with the portal to Agate unlocked, as well as the save warp on Dark World to the pyramid.
Looks like he's gonna do Mire Desert first.
Mire first, definitely.
Well, gonna do the area first.
Well, no, with the positioning Yoshi's done, he's already set up for Spooky Act. I can already tell that.
Gotcha.
Because opening... The first time you can tell if someone's doing Spooky Action is if they lift that rock from below, because that sets the perfect light for the Spooky Action glitch that they're trying to preserve for their Fire Rod.
So he'll do Mire, then do Desert, and then do Ice.
Yes.
It looks like he's going to follow basically the same path already in Agate Tower. Since they don't need to look for anything else, that makes a lot of sense. Death King, in the meantime, going to go into Ganon's Tower, going to find that Bombos.
Apparently it's not required for Spooky. I must be mistaken.
There is, yeah. There are.
I know there's other setups for it.
Say there are other steps for Spooky. I am not the expert on Spooky Action by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, this makes sense on our Oops side. Ralen's going to continue clearing out dungeons while Death King does his scout of GT.
Yeah, I think lifting the rock that way, it's not required for sweep action, but it makes it so that you have the consistent Ancilla setup. What's someone's pointing on chat.
Okay, gotta have to look for that big key here, not getting the Godmire, which of course is pretty standard when you're go-moding it.
Yeah,
We do see a small key, so we now know that the big key is going to be in the cutscene chest, so we will have to sit through that.
Yay. But yeah, I fully concede that I don't know all the tricks memorized by heart. I have studied them, but I actually have not actually been practiced enough to execute them consistently, so I only know what I see.
Alright, Yoshi gonna fall down this hole and pick up his big key. And make very quick work of Viddy with those silver arrows.
Indeed. And there's actually a convenient portal here, which was in front of another portal, which will put him right on the way to Vitreous. Definitely checking GT for the big key.
Has his Bombo, so now in go mode. Just needs to pick up that big key, which we know is behind the Armos Knights. Meanwhile, Ralen gonna finish off Cold Stare.
And we actually do have the other member of Team Awesome in the chat as well. I didn't quite catch him at first, but there he is. It was actually, in fact, the person who was correcting me. I did not recognize the username right away. My mistake. Anyway, video's coming up here for Team Awesome's Yoshi. And blink you'll miss it, Vitreous is going to be a fun fight.
Alright, now just Ice Palace to go on Yoshi's side. Hitsu gonna have a much quicker mire, so you just need to grab a small key so you can get over to the cutscene area. Oh wait, still gotta do desert, but this will be very, very quick since we already did the front. So we already have the big key, just need to go to the back and do it.
And the way this is positioned here for Team Awesome, the average time for the seeds won't matter here for us here in this race that much.
Well, yeah, Yoshi and Hitsu are going to finish this before Death King finishes, and Death King is going to be the first one to finish on that side of things. So, I mean, in the sense that whether it's average time or whether it's last person finishing, that's not going to make a difference, obviously.
No. To give people a more idea of how the average times work here for these co-op races, the person with the fastest average time is going to be the winner, obviously. However, because of the way this is set up, it's going to be 2 team members finishing first before the second team gets a finisher. And because of that, the first team will always set a faster average time than the second team will ever be able to. So averages are really only important in a situation in which we have one member from one team finishing, then both of the other team finishing, and then the fourth finishing from the first team.
Well, average. If you don't have the teams finishing one team completely before the other, the averages can still matter. But we don't have that. We're gonna get all of Team Awesome's gonna finish before all of Oops. So not gonna matter. We are gonna get Yoshi into Ice Palace. Ice Palace, one of the best go mode dungeons, even a better go mode dungeons now that we have the Icebreaker.
Indeed.
And the big difference between using average time and using whoever finishes, when the second runner finishes, is if you're doing it the second way, the runner that's further ahead can do more scouting. So, for instance, had we not found that tempered sword, Yoshi being a little bit ahead of Hitsu, would probably check some of these chests to see if they can get another sword or something. But if you're doing average time, then it matters that he doesn't want to do extra checks. He wants to finish as fast as he can, since he doesn't know where his opponents are.
That's correct. And we're gonna see Icebreaker from Yoshi. Most likely those Hitsuyan as well. But yeah, in the case of this seed, because Team Awesome collectively will be finishing before our Team Oops does, by default, their average time will always be better than whatever average time that the other team can put up.
Okay, meanwhile, we have Death King making his way up Ganon's tower. Ralen's going to finish up Swamp here.
Alright. This is the last dungeon for Yoshi here, so after Yoshi defeats Ice Palace... Well, Yoshi has two options going forward. He can either save warp to the pyramid, which will cut his HP down a little bit, but put him on the pyramid immediately. Or he can choose to mirror, swim over, take the portal at the gate, and then climb up again, which will take a little bit longer time, but will give him that full health for the fight. So, the question is, do you want to save a few seconds keeping your health at max for the fight, or do you want to do that save warp? That's the question here. Let's see what Yoshi decides to do. But that is the last pendant. All the target that's for the all dungeons have been met. Yoshi is now eligible to fight the pig. And is opting to do the save and quit. Now, I don't think Yoshi has a potion in those bottles.
He's got red mail. He's got a decent number of hearts. He's you know, if he's really in trouble. Actually, he doesn't. Looks like they didn't pick up the cape, so he doesn't get a chance to use that. But he should be fine. I mean, Yoshi's a veteran of this game.
I don't even know where the cape was. I completely missed that.
Yeah, we see it on Death King's tracker.
That had
I remember him picking it up. No, it wasn't GT. It was before that. I remember him picking it up. I don't remember what it was. But Yoshi making very good use of the iframes that hookshot gives him.
Yep.
And he's past the scariest part of the fight, so he should be fine at this point.
Yeah, this is the third phase, which is just teleports. Does have to be a little careful, because if the stray fire bat hits him, It doesn't have any knockback, but it will reverse control, so he can accidentally push himself into a pit. But only while he has the iframes up. Or the hit's done. Again, it does not teleport away at the start. Opting to play it safe. There's one of the fire bats I was talking about. Great positioning there. Ooh!
Almost got it. Okay, one more
Not
shot,
quite.
you'll be done.
And let's just get your GGs in chat for Yoshi, who will lock up the first spot on this race for Team Awesome. Average times do matter for actual victory. But the bar has been set fairly high here with a 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 45 seconds. I promise the next scene will be better, says the Triforce. I don't know if this scene was okay, all things considering. Last location flippers, but not bad otherwise. Still pretty good. I've seen worse from all dungeons.
Alright, meanwhile, Hitsu gonna finish up Ice Palace here, almost to the end. Ralen working his way to the big key. It's like, let's see, Death King must be in Misery Mire, because that is the last dark room that we have to do, and he does not have a lamp.
And yes, that is correct, Sooty Puff. If a team finishes first and fourth in overall in IRC, that does mean averages will matter, but in this case, it's definitely looking like the it won't.
Okay, the bottom line is it's based on average, and the average is whichever average time is faster is the one. In this case, we know the average time is faster for Team Awesome because they both will finish before Team Oops.
Yeah, there's no way Oops and Team Oops can put up an average time that will be faster than Team Awesome if Hitsuyan finishes before either one of them.
And to answer the question about where Lamp was, this is in Checkerboard Cave. So Death King could have picked it up. He could have even just picked it up right before he went to Misery Mire. He's obviously comfortable enough in his dark rooms to think that he's going to be faster just to not pick it up than to go out of his way to get it. And Hitsuyan now in his Ganon fight. Death King gonna go ahead and do his Agate Tower now.
Really Kid and Death King both in a position to finish Misery Mire once they are done with their respective dungeons here. Definitely put up a strong showing, though, as their last regular season match. And they could still be alive here for all we know. It's going to come down to playoffs.
Well, they're going to need help because there are other teams in the division that have similar record.
Yes.
Those teams will have to lose to put them in a tiebreaker scenario.
That is correct. So at this point in time, currently Team Oops is in a three-way tie in terms of points here in the Skullwoods division, and it can still go any way going forward.
Okay, Hitsu finishing up Ganon.
Yep, there we go. Because you're using chats for Team Awesome here.
Clinching the win for Team Awesome. Hitsu finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:37.16.
And for those who want to know the average, I do have it calculated here. The average time of this seed was 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 30.5 seconds. That is a time that Team Oops cannot beat, so the winner of this race is Team Awesome. No questions asked. GG's to them. They go undefeated in the regular season of the league.
Yeah, congratulations to Team Awesome. Great showing this season.
And in fact, let me just double check the scores here across the league. there is only one other team currently that has the position to potentially do that, and that is in the rival division of the Dark World Conference, the Village of Outcast division. And then they have a one team there that is also undefeated, but they have not played any games this week currently. So currently, at this point in time, Team Awesome is the only team in the league to go undefeated in the regular season. There is a chance for a second one.
But the Skullwoods division is certainly an interesting one with, it looks like, depending on how, and there's some of these teams will be playing each other, so they can't all finish at 21 points. But it looks like there are 5 teams who could theoretically end up with 21 points, depending on how their matchups are set this week. So it could be quite a tiebreaker going on over there in that Skullwoods division.
Yes, this being, of course, the Skullwoods division. And what's going to happen here is will be hard for us to stay alive in the regular season. It's going to come down to how the other games play out in the week.
Yep, none of those other teams have finished their races this week, so there's still a lot to be played before things get all sorted out in that division.
Yeah, this could be Upsla's last race, but they could still also be in a position, depending on how it shapes up, to play in the playoffs and try to get into the playoffs as the third seed. But it is completely out of their hands right now. It's all up to how the other racers fare. So if you're rooting for Team Ups to make it into the playoffs, you better hope that they get some luck on their side, because they're going to need it. A win here, on the other hand, if Team Ups was able to do so, would actually still not lock them in for a spot, but they would be in a much more favorable position going into that
for sure.
Playoffs, or the division tiebreaker for the playoffs spot.
Yeah, the question, are there other games today? There are a lot more games today, and so I'll take this moment while Ralen's finishing up his AGA 2 fight. Goddamn. Doing this out of order, of course. We have at 6:10 on SpeedGaming 2, we have Op Get Good versus Old Swagga Jackson. That'll be Walkix and Nielsen Alex versus Walter and Kern. Now that I think I figured out how this all shapes up. At 7:10 on the League channel, we have the ALTTPR League channel. Beard Force 1 versus Broken Triforce. That'll be Dr. Bob Tastic and Dark Shadows versus Big Duncan and Gloin. At 7:10, this one won't be restreamed. We have the Sexygans versus Team Challenge, Freddy and Yagamoth versus Ridley Dragon and Zelnus. 8:10 on the ALTTPR League Channel 2, we have Kinda Rando Retired versus Les French Canadiens, Keong and Furriam versus Rywick and Aselfius Rod. At 8:10 on SpeedGaming 2, we have 16-Bit Nerds versus 2 Pro 2 Furious, Floyd 44 and Flip Heel versus Trinex and OAC 28. At 9:10, we have Furriam will give an interview versus I've Got a Tempered, Korak and Act the Boker versus Skeeto and D Demolisher.
And just to add something to that match, Barami will do an interview and is the other team currently looking to go undefeated in the regular season. So that is a match to watch.
You know what? The rest of these, you can look at the schedule. We do have more matches all the way up as late as 10:25 on SpeedGaming 4. So are there other matches today? There are other matches today.
Yeah, there is a lot of matches coming up later today.
Thursday seems to be a very popular day. Okay, Death King finishing up his Ganon 1. Ralen making his way up towards Ganon 1, AGA 1. And
right.
Death King still has to do Misery Mire.
Alright, I am currently conversing with Team Awesome. Let's see if we are going to be having an interview with them. It looks like we are not, but I'm not going to hold my breath yet. But yeah, Team Awesome, perfect season for the regular season, like we said. They will be getting a bye for their division and coming into the playoff weeks starting next Monday. So they will actually not be taking part in the Week 1 playoffs. They have a bye, a free match basically. They'll play the winner of the 2nd and 3rd seeds.
Alright, now Ralen, having finishing up his AGA 1, gonna go ahead and do Misery Mire. He'll probably catch up a little bit with Death King. Except Death King is going the wrong direction for the big key.
Yes,
unfortunately,
like...
not checking that chest over in what I think is the compass room. With that always being a small key, or with that key in that room being a small key, meaning it's going to be a big key. Okay, he's going back that way. He'll find that small key, and hopefully he knows that means that the big key is in the cutscene chest.
So yes, I've just confirmation. Team Awesome has declined an interview, but GG's once again, they put on an excellent race here, finishing extremely strong for the regular season. Can't be wrong about an undefeated streak of 14-0. And like we said, one other team is looking to make that happen, and that is, of course, Rami. We'll do an interview when that is later tonight on the ALTTPR. Yeah, I said that too many times. The ALTTPR League.
Okay, Death King gonna pick up his big key. Ralen gonna be not far behind because he knows where it is now.
And for those wondering about the fate of Team Oops, there's Drossi in chat. One of the ones that are staying on top of all the scoring here for our league has given the breakdown here. So it'll be a three-way tie between Major Mistakes and Hime going into the tiebreaker. And it requires 3 heated leftovers to win out, and Major Mistakes and Hime to lose the remaining. So it all comes down to a bunch of other teams going forward. So the stars need a line if Team Ups wants a shot. Alright. Death King handling those dark rooms of Misery Mire quite well, the hardest room. Ralen on his way as well. Alright, so we're patiently waiting for Defking to get to the next room. He is through. He's in the arguably the easiest room in the game. Whoa! Was that? It was. Wow.
All right, Death King getting through those dark rooms. Ralen not gonna have a problem getting through the dark room since he has a lamp.
Okay, I just want to say that Death King did something pretty amazing. He did dark room spooky action, completely in the dark. It's not exactly that impressive if you know your dark rooms, but at the same time, I certainly would need a lamp to see how if I'm doing that. So well done on his part. And that's Vitreous down. Ralen soon to follow. Both of them getting spooky. Need taken care of. You know, we never did check that green pen and nothing about it, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Why would we?
Indeed.
Please don't.
It's probably another bottle or the Wake medallion. We don't really care. You're just getting one of the lightning attacks off. Also, I just realized that Ganon's quote today is a Portal reference.
All right, Death King doing a nice job getting in that corner, getting those nice sword spins in. Also using that hook shot to great effect. And as Ganon starts phase 3 for Death King, Ralen has jumped in for phase 1.
Indeed. So we will have the average time soon, but I'm not entirely sure if chat wants to know it. I mean, it's going to look to be fairly close, all the things considering. And probably within, like, maybe 30 seconds at most. And that's Ganon down for Death King.
And Death King finishing up with an official SRL time of 1:51:20 as he will cross this bridge.
And Ralen putting the finishing touches on Ganon. Gives your GG chat for Ralen now. Yeah, very tight time. I'm here, so the average is not going to be too difficult to see.
Ralen finishing up with an official SRL time 1:52:03. GG's to Ralen and GG's to Oops. It isn't there either. That's what that essentially means. Because I don't speak German and I won't try and pronounce it.
So the average time was about a 20-second difference in overall between their two times. So it's a 1:51:40 and change. And we are now joined by, I hope I pronounced this right because I'm trying to approach this. Team Whoops, so not.
Yeah, I don't try my German, but GG's.
I'm going to attempt to pronounce that if I have to.
This was absolutely perfect. I didn't even listen.
Well, GG all the same. A very strong race for you guys. As you were up against.
I mean, have you seen how close this race was? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, about 40 seconds difference here.
That's right.
Indeed. But yeah, Team Awesome, of course, winning this race overall. But you guys still did fairly well, all things considering.
Yeah, I mean, different from yesterday. At least we didn't make too much of the mistake.
Hmm. I don't know.
Just forget about that whole Agatower thing for 1 second. And then
Well, that would
basically
be a
played
mistake.
pretty
I didn't
good.
notice.
I didn't notice
Told
either.
which caused that we didn't know, or at least we knew too late, that there are the flippers inside Terra. So
You all actually got your flippers first.
Yeah. Matter
we
of
know,
fact,
but the problem was we were thinking, okay, I still fighting about Moldon. So Ralen went on first, and just then I found out, flip.
If he had done the Moldon fight without falling, there may have been just enough time for me to stall for a few seconds to at least know what the Hera item is in the
Gotcha.
basement, and
Gotcha.
that was the problem. But with that fall, I was 30 seconds ahead on clearing the mountain there.
Hmm.
So unless Hera, or I said I go on, just check the basement, and if there really is something, I can come back later if I need to.
Hmm. And of
Yeah.
course there was.
yeah, and the flippers, you actually did find them first. As a matter of fact, Team Awesome last location the flippers.
Yeah, but to their credit, they got to the escape a lot sooner and
Mm.
got their cane a lot
And
sooner.
they also went to Desert a lot sooner and got their boots and flew
Yep,
online
that's
a
right.
fair bit faster.
Yeah,
Mm,
I can
guess
imagine.
so.
Well, my
Uh,
understanding is you're gonna have to wait and see what other teams do, and hope
I
for
mean-
some
I mean,
hope for
in
some good correct outcomes for you all to move on. But it's not over yet.
It's more or less over already.
I'm not going to beat
Uh,
around the bush. It's coming to count to pure luck for you guys.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
hope
not
you guys
looking
make
good,
it.
but
I
yeah.
want to see more from you guys.
You just want to try again to pronounce our team name, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Do that.
But in all seriousness, I actually do hope that you guys can make it through. It is all down to outside factors for you guys, but you have put on an excellent series thus far. 21 points going through the league. Not something. There's definitely something to be proud of going forward, even if you don't make it into the playoff.
And with so many teams stacked up, it's got to have been a really tough division. So well done.
Yes. So, how was the regular season for you guys? In case this happens to be your last game of the season of the league.
Well, it was fun doing this for the first time. I mean, we had a few different modes now, like the co-op things, and racing in a more or less tournament, different modes is kind of funny. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, and knowing our division and the strength of the teams, we initially really thought of having a chance for the playoffs, or not at least such a big one. But yeah, then with that good start, there was the hope, and yeah, it wasn't, or we had then not that much luck in the cross keys week and the spoiler co-op week, where I think one win would have helped plenty for playoff things, but yeah. But we had fun all through the weeks, and some good races and some good modes.
Now, I'm not 100% sure if the tiebreakers will be streamed or not at this point in time, but I do happen to know, folks, that if you are interested in seeing the playoff race, what it will be is it's going to be one race. The winner will lock themselves in for their division, and it will be an open 7-7 defeat Ganon. I don't know if it's going to be held for this division. I don't know when it's going to be held. So stay tuned for that. I'm hoping that you guys do make it. I really do. I want to see you guys keep going and see if you guys can get some revenge on Team Awesome and just get through to the end of this.
Absolutely.
I don't really want to hope for that, because that would also mean we are at least kicking out either Team Major Mistakes or Team Hime, which are also good friends from the German community. And I want to see the redemption story of Ravis, who had a really, really bad league regular season. But I know he can play better. He knows he can play better. He just needs good luck.
Well,
we see Ravis in chat right now.
good luck to you both as well.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck moving forward in any future tournaments and leagues that you might enter.
I do have one last question before you go. Will you guys maybe return to Season 3 if it ever happens?
Maybe, we will see.
So, yeah, so for me, I am at least pretty interested in returning. The question is in which form, since we're probably not returning as a complete team. So the question is, I want to play further and probably would search for a different team, or have we two people and can find a third to return in a different setup? But yeah, there is one player from us that has expressed his intention to not return.
All right.
We don't call names, we just give signs.
All right. Anything you all want to add before we?
Our teammate going, who could that be in chat? He was listening to this all the same. But yeah.
I mean, we pretty much lived up to our team name. Beautifully written there on the file names. So...
I love your team name, even though I can't pronounce it. I looked it up weeks ago when I did one of your races, and yeah, it's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. And we live by it most of the time.
Well, GCCU again and Team Oops. Make sure to give all 4 of our featured runners here a follow today. They put on an excellent race for us. Good way to end their regular season, I feel. Also, make sure to follow both SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Link to Best Randomizer League. And speaking of the league, we feature a bunch of these races on the ALTTPR League and the ALTTPR League 2 through 4, where we have nothing but these races going on. And we have several of those matches, like we said earlier for today, featured on our secondary channels. We got one coming up at 7:10 between Beer Force 1 and Broken Triforce. We've got another one on this League 2 channel, which is kind of Random Retire for the Fresh Canadians. And then we have the other undefeated team. Barami will do an interview if you win, looking to be the second undefeated team in the league. They're going at it on DL2 League 1 at 9:10 tonight. And coming up on SpeedGaming, the next earliest match will be on SpeedGaming 2. We actually have 2 matches coming up in there. We have OP Get Good versus Old Swagger Jackson, and we have 16-Bit Nurse versus 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. Both of those matches going to be featured on SpeedGaming 2. And of course, make sure to follow my co-commenter Tracy M, and of course our 2 trackers Lbot and Dark Diplomat, keeping those items up to date and being our extra set of eyes, because we definitely needed them. And of course, you can follow. And of course, you can follow me.
Yeah, go ahead.
And of course, you can follow me as well. But at all said and done, folks, from all of us here at Link Fast Randomizer League, I have been Wolfling0370, and we shall see you all next time. And thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.